Welcome to RV and Travel Adventures. My name is Jesus Manuel Menegarza. I'm in Fort Worth, Texas. This channel is all about the RV lifestyle and travel and my various adventures attempting to camp, traveling around the United States and Mexico, etc., and potential adventures. And I do quite a few RV reviews on this channel. Not a lot. I'm not employed by any RV dealerships, so I don't get access to all their latest wares, and I don't travel around the United States and going to the various shows. I just stick around pretty much Fort Worth, Denton, the Dallas area. So I recently returned from Cresco and Decorah, Iowa, where I've visited with family and friends on my wife's side, and we had a great time, and we enjoyed checking out especially Decorah, Iowa. My plans for the upcoming season, and this is my September 2023 RVTA report, so I should talk about the future. I'm planning to do some camping probably in October, November, once it cools down. We're still, this weekend, it's supposed to be over 100 degrees again in the Fort Worth area. A couple days ago, it dropped below 100, around 99, and we also had a little bit of a cool breeze. That was amazing. It's like, wow, this is nice. 99 degrees with a cool breeze. I can live with that. It's when it's 110 degrees and there's no breeze that I have some issues. Living in this environment of Texas, where global warming is having its effects, is super hot. Super hot. I cannot go out, ride my bike, do some walks, do my usual stuff that I do in the spring and the fall and the winter. I'm pretty much relegated to sitting inside the house. Yesterday, I got on my riding lawnmower and mowed part of my lawn, parts that were getting pretty high. So I did that. It was a bit cooler yesterday. It was around 99 degrees with that cool breeze. Very nice. I really enjoyed it. And especially when I was in the shade of my trees, it dropped down to about in the 80s. I could live with that. So when you're walking around, riding your bike, hiking about, and you get in the direct sun, even though you're wearing a hat, it sort of makes me a little dizzy. I sort of have the Mitch McConnell effect, where you just... Not that bad. Not that bad. So I'm going to be producing some RVTA videos, hopefully in the upcoming future. More RV reviews and some RVing travel, probably mid-October. Definitely in November, I'll be doing some RVing, some solo camping. My wife's going to be teaching at the university. Maybe I'll go camping on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday and come back on a Friday, or just come back on a Thursday. 2 nights, Monday night, Tuesday night, come back on a Wednesday or a Thursday. Who knows? So those are the plans for doing some camping, and I'll be doing it regionally at RV parks like Lake Whitney State Park, Claiborne State Park, those kinds of parks, within 100, 150 miles of my house. I'm not going to go too far because, it costs money to go far. I would love to just head to California, visit family and friends, and go down there. But it would cost me several $1,000s in gasoline and expenses to do that. So my wife, like I've told you, if you're a fan of this channel, if you watch this channel for any period of time, you know that the summer of 2025, my wife and I plan to move out of Texas. And people may ask, why move out of Texas? Well, it's very affordable here. I did some research on houses, new housing developments here in Fort Worth. You can buy a house here for $250,000, a nice house for $350,000, a very nice house for $500,000 here in the Fort Worth area. Where my wife and I are planning to move, Northern California, Southern Oregon, it's going to be, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000. We already know that. Luckily, we have the great majority of that saved up, and if we want to go into our investments and just take some money out of there, we can buy it cash. At least that's the plan until it changes. Why, you must ask? Why, you must ask? Would I ever, and this is being redundant, I know, I'm like a broken record sometimes. Why do I want to move to Northern California, Southern Arizona? Because I like, in the summer, to go ride my bike. get some exercise. This old dude needs all the exercise I can get. I can't just sit here inside the house eating bonbons and drinking cervezas and watching the various gossip shows on TV, sports gossip. I'm a big fan of 49er gossip, cowboy gossip shows, and listening to them. Oh, yeah, they're going to do that. Oh, yeah, this is how the season's going to go. Thank you very much. So I want to do some exercise. I want to live maybe a couple months, maybe a couple years extra, because I am semi-fit. I'm never going to be Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm never going to be The Rock. I understand that. But I can live, thin down. I've gotten down to about 170 degrees. Last week I was 168. Wow. But then I had a couple burritos, and now I'm back up to 170. So that's the plan. I want to be physically more fit. And by living in a place where I can ride my bike, go for a hike, do some fishing, hike to a fishing spot, and, do that, go downtown, walk downtown, hang out about downtown, just look around downtown. I can't do that here. Seriously, in the middle of summer, I cannot do that. And that's when my wife and I are together, because my wife teaches in the fall, teaches in the spring, and she has winter break and summer break. So, we want to hang out together. In the winter, during the winter break, it's usually, ice on the road. It's very dangerous around here because they don't clear the roads other than the main thoroughfares. So I want to be fit. I want to enjoy my life, what's left of it. What can I say? That's the main reason I'm moving somewhere else. Okay? Primarily the only reason. I don't expect to have a bunch of new friends. I don't expect to have join a club here and there. My wife's thinking about joining some various knitting clubs and maybe teaching a class at one of the universities or community colleges down there, for fun. But, me, I plan to just do the housework, do the yard work, go for walks, do some cycling. So that's the plan. That's the main number one reason to go to like Medford, Oregon, Grants Pass, Oregon, Chico, California, Redding, California, those kinds of places. And we have friends and family. If I want to go visit my friends and family, I just have to drive 3-4 hours, and I'm back in the Bay Area. And I'm there hanging out at the birthday party, at the, baptism, at the wedding, just hanging out. My friends, most of my friends down there and family have pools and are doing super, super, super well. Much better. Much better. Much, much, much better than I am. I am down here, way down here, and my family's doing way up here. Woo-hoo-hoo. All those investments, because they're so much older than me back in the 60s and 70s in properties, are serving them well in 2023 and 2024. So that's what I wanted to yammer about, my plans to move. Okay, first of all, and I'm planning to do some RVTA videos, of course, on RVs and my travels. I've updated my studio setup. I just wanted to go over it for you, for some of you folks who want to know why it looks a certain way. My number one thing here is I'm shooting the video with my Lumix G85, and it's connected to a little box that converts a signal that can be streamed to my software. Okay, it's being streamed to my software, and the software I'm using is OBS Studio, and I'm recording this video on OBS Studio at about 1080p, 2K, somewhere around there. Somewhere in that region. That box only goes up to 2K. I used to shoot all my videos in 4K from direct, on the SD card in my Lumix G85, but that was in the studio space, my other studio space, which is empty at this time. So again, I'm shooting with the camera. A wire, an HDMI cable goes to my little box, and that box converts a signal that's acceptable by my laptop. And my laptop that I'm using right now to produce this video, to shoot this video, is my MacBook Pro 16-inch M1. It's a pretty basic configuration. It's almost 2 years old, 3 years old laptop, but I like it. It works for me. It allows me to do something else. It allows me to use DaVinci Resolve 18.5. And that's a software where I edit the whole video. I get that video that I just, put into this computer, and I edit it, add titles, add intros, add outros, and all that sort of stuff. The mic that I'm using currently is my AKG P120. It's an $85 mic. It's a basic mic, but it fits my purpose. It's lightweight enough to fit on this thing here. I have a much more expensive microphone, but it sort of weighs it down. I have to go down here. Hey, that's where so this one's lighter and works good enough for YouTube. I'm not, I don't, pretend to be Pavarotti or, some famous singer or famous DJ or something that needs a lot of great stuff. I just need good stuff because I'm basically a good announcer. Not a great announcer, a good announcer. I know my limitations. So that, of course, goes into my Scarlett 2i2 USB interface. So that USB interface allows this XLR mic, goes in there, and then goes through that interface, my Scarlett 2i2, and then eventually that Scarlett 2i2 is connected to my computer. Okay? I have various plugins. I have extensions, splitters. And I, like, for example, this one right here has 3 connections. That one has 4 connections. And I'm connected directly to my Spectrum internet service. So I can produce, if I decide to, streaming content via this using OBS Studio. So that's my setup. And I have my monitor that I usually use with my Dell XPS. I have it over here so I can read my script, and my script's right over here, and it has 6 topics. I'm not going to talk too much. You're saying I'll see, when I see it, I'll believe it that you're talking less. Okay, so that's my updated studio setup. Hope you like it. I did buy a Revelator mic, USB mic, very nice mic, but I'm not using it. I'm just using my XLR mic connected to my XLR digital converter, essentially, to my laptop. I can connect that Revelator mic, the PreSonus Revelators, dynamic, directly, but it's all right. I like this setup. I'm more used to this. I started working in radio when I was going to college back in, I think it was 74, 75. I worked at KXRX Radio in San Jose. Doing public affairs programming, and then I got I also had a gig at the college station and also at Stanford at the college station. So it was a lot of fun for me to produce programs. Then eventually I got a job while going to college as a TV sportscaster, which I was horrible at. I was absolutely horrible because I don't know anything about sports. I'm not a jock. I don't care about sports. I know a little bit about football, the NFL, but I don't like baseball. I don't like basketball. I don't like hockey. I don't like women's basketball. I don't like any of those sports. I like a little bit of track and field. I like the 4x100, the 4x400. I like those relays. Definitely don't like soccer. Or as they call it in Europe, football. Okay. So that's me. Okay, travels. I'm planning to do some traveling. My wife and I are still negotiating where we're going to go for Christmas. We may fly somewhere. I'm considering going to like Baja, maybe Cabo for a week, staying down there. That's pretty inexpensive. Or we may just go visit family again in the Bay Area. Who knows? So those are some of the travels that we plan. This upcoming 2024 summer season, my wife and I plan to do some traveling in Northern California and Oregon, talk to realtors, get some ideas about the inventory of what's available and what we can get for our price point. What can we get for $500,000 in Medford, Oregon? Well, this is pretty nice. Or not so nice. And of course, my wife and I are having the constant discussion. We should get a condo. We love condos. We like the fact that we don't have to constantly paint it and mow the lawn and, do all that insane stuff. But we don't like the fact being under the thumb of the condo association. You're paying $300 this year, but next year it might be $500,000 a month in fees. Okay. And if they say, hey, we got to expand we're thinking about doing this and doing that, and then it goes up to 800,000. We don't like that. We like being predictable, so it's probably we're headed towards buying the smallest house with zero escaping, so I don't have to go out there and mow the lawn. Simple and straightforward, a 3-2, 1,500 square feet, and I'll be happy. A condo always irritates the living crap out of me. We almost bought a condo here in Fort Worth, but the association fees are like $500 a month. If I can deduct those from my taxes, I would buy it. I would buy a condo tomorrow, okay? But I can't. Those are not taken off your taxes, okay? So the weather, I was complaining about the weather earlier. It's been in June, July, and pretty much all of August. It's been 100 plus degrees. It's been horrific here. It's been absolutely horrific. Very tiny amount of rain. Our water bill typically is low, but lately, for the last 3 months, has been pretty high. Our air conditioning, we're pretty stingy with our air conditioning. We have it set for like 80, 85 typically. 85 overnight, 80 during the day. But we even added to that. It's 85 during the day and almost 90 at night. I think it's 88 at night. And we're still paying almost $300 a month in air conditioning. Okay. A couple summers back, we were paying $150. Now it's pretty much doubled, thankfully. Not thankfully. Bad news. We don't like spending all that money on air conditioning. Of course, in California, it's always fantastic, the weather. In Southern Oregon, it's always fantastic. Not necessarily, but it's definitely better than Texas, living in the plains area. What can I say? Repairs. I'm repairing my RV. Of course, I've had several videos on this. I've constantly talked about it. My drawers keep on falling out. I'm going to be doing some RVing pretty soon. I'm not going to even put anything in those drawers. I'm just going to leave them empty. I already bought a plastic container, and I'm putting all my dishes and all my pots and pans and anything for those drawers. I'm going to leave in those drawers. I mean, in that box. I'm not even going to put anything in those drawers because I'm afraid they're going to fly out again. And with that pulverized wood, I'm going to have to fix it again because those cabinets are junk. And again, what are they? They are junk. Okay. That's what I get for buying a Rockwood Mini Light 2205S. I should have bought a casita, a small casita, and just called it good. Casita's just down the road here. Rice, Texas. They have a fabulous product. I can vacuum the carpet and just, call it good. It's a very nice, travel trailer. I should have bought a casita. And at that time, when I was looking, they were going for around $20,000. In fact, they had a couple lying around. They said, well, no, they didn't pick them up. We'll give you a little bit of a discount on, $19,000. I said, I should have jumped on that, but I didn't. I wanted something a little bit bigger. Okay. Call me crazy. Hindsight is always 20/20. What can you say? The 71-year-old guy knows. I look back on my life and I go, oh, that was stupid. That was really, really, really stupid. That was dumb. Some things I did right. Luckily, I'm here at 71, living in a nice house in Fort Worth with some value, and everything's working out. And I married a fabulous woman, Dr. Anne Marie Limer. I am the luckiest man in the universe. I know it, okay? So a lot of repairs from RV. I plan to do some mods eventually. So again, I'm buying a home. That's my big thing we're thinking about. We're going to start looking the summer of 24 and hopefully doing some RVing the summer of 25. They may be buying something the winter or spring of 26. That's the plan. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, leave them below. Abajo. Muchas gracias a todos ustedes. I greatly appreciate it. This channel has about 3,500 subscribers. I think that's how many we have. I get confused. Don't forget to check out my Patreon page, patreon.com/JMMGarza. By participating in my Patreon program, you help this old fart, buy better equipment, do some traveling, etc., etc. And I would like to thank all my patrons at this time. Muchísimos Gracias a todos a ustedes. From Fort Worth, Texas, where it's 98 degrees. Wow, it's fantastic. But this weekend it's going to be in the 100 plus category. Hope you're doing cooler, much nicer wherever you're at. Gracias. Adios. Bye-bye.